Okay, so before we get into soldering, let's talk about some of the equipment you're going to need to accomplish that. The first thing you're going to need is a soldering iron, and pencil soldering iron is generally the best. They have the guns, which are bigger and flame, but you don't need either one of those. You need a nice pencil soldering iron. Now this one works pretty good, but if you're really going to do it for any length of time, you want to invest in a nice variable temperature soldering iron. That way you can adjust this temperature to what you need depending on how big of a board you're soldering to or how small of a wire you're using. And this one here has a nice carrying or nice holder for the soldering iron. It has a sponge here which you can soak down so that you clean the soldering iron when you need to. You should clean it all the time. You shouldn't let solder build up on it. But once you have that, the next thing you need is something to strip the wires, because most of your soldering is going to be wired to board. And these type work perfect. You can get them at Home Depot or Lowe's or any hardware store. Relatively inexpensive. You need a pair of dikes or cutters. I like these. These are nice and precise ones. They work very well for me, especially most of my stuff is smaller wire. Needle nose pliers, next thing you're going to need. And I like the curved heads. They seem to work better for me. You might like the straight point. You might like the longer point. It doesn't really matter. You just need something to hold on to the wires. If you hold on with your hand, the heat's going to basically go up that wire rather quickly, and it can get kind of hot for your fingers. The next thing you need is some type of solder, and most of the time you want to use a tin lead combination rosin core solder. Basically it has the flux built into it, and a thinner wire. You don't need a real thick wire for this type of soldering. This particular thing is probably 40-50 bucks, but it's probably going to last my lifetime maybe. And then you're going to need something to hold the wires, hold your board. I find that the helping hands work pretty good. You can buy a couple sets of these. I think I got this one at Harbor Freight some years ago. It's been pretty used. I think it was $5, maybe $6 for this. The other thing I really like a lot is the Ultimate Soldering Jig, and there are a couple jigs out there like this. They're just a nice, heavy, solid clamping device for you to put your either battery ends in or just your board, clamp your board to the solder to. You can also make some homemade ones with the alligator clips and some wood. So that's the basic equipment you need for soldering. And now let's check out and see about actually performing soldering and what you need to know about that.